Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Let me ask you a question. Yes, you listening to this particular video on the YouTubes. Do you have any family and or friends that think that you're nuts or stupid or not making sense because you're buying XRP or have bought XRP? Do some people in your life that you've spoken to about Ripple and XRP and anybody else involved in the XRP ecosystem, do they just not seem to get it? Well, let me share something with you. It might make you feel a little bit better here. You're not alone. You're not the only person. If you've encountered anyone in your life that has this type of response, look, I've encountered it, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of some of the stuff I've encountered. I'm not going to go terribly in depth, but it's not something I talk about a lot. Maybe I have in briefly one or two other videos, maybe, in operating this channel for over a year. So I think it's an interesting topic. And so what got me thinking about this, it was this tweet from XRP Boy. He's real XRP Boy on Twitter, @boy_XRP. And so I'm going to share with you the tweet, and he shared some screen grabs from a text here. I have to run through this stuff here. So I'm going to talk about this, not just from a technical perspective, why some of the critiques that he cites here, not really so valid if you understand the XRP and crypto ecosystem, but also partly the experience about what this is like. And then I've also got this piece that I want to share with you, and it's from XRP The Standard Productions. I like this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but I like this guy. And so basically, I always say that he's basically the equivalent of The Onion, but for the XRP community. So he writes up these fake articles, but they're typically pretty darn good. They usually get me laughing at least 1, 2, 3 points throughout the piece, if not more than that. And so he titled this one, "Bank of America CEO Pissed That Ripple Hasn't Announced Partnership Yet." So, anyway, before going any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you also have friends and or family that simply just don't get it, anything pertaining to XRP, it just doesn't resonate, you are not alone. Go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel in a show of solidarity, because why the hell not? Alright, and so let's just go ahead and dig in. This is from real XRP Boy on Twitter. And he writes, "I want to share something with you, #XRP Community, because I catch a lot of S-word emoji from friends and family for buying XRP. My cousin, who has been relentlessly busting my balls, re my decision to invest in XRP, let alone go all in, is dating an Oppenheimer financial advisor who said the following," and then he's got 4 screen grabs, and I want to run through this because I think that this is interesting. Okay, so here we go here. All right, and again, so this is the cousin and dating an Oppenheimer financial advisor. Okay, so here's the message from XRP Boy. She basically said, "To make money in cryptocurrency, you missed your opportunity a few years ago." And so already right there, you can tell that this is somebody that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Unaware of market cycles, unaware of how humans behave when there's a frenzy around a new technology, and how that results in just potential asymmetrical returns when things really get going. Now, and then it continues here. "Cryptocurrency is a joke right now, and most of all companies will be gone soon or will merge with bigger ones." Okay, I think part of that's fair. Many of the ICOs and other blockchain industry firms out there, especially if they're the ones backing particular coins, again, so ICOs, a lot of those are going to go the way of my favorite avian creature, the dodo, which is extinct. Yes, they're going to go away, and maybe there could be some sort of merging of companies. Okay, fine, but of course that would still result in the cryptocurrencies themselves pretty much going extinct. And if not literally extinct, just think massive delistings on cryptocurrency exchanges, because if I'm right and utility actually matters more than pretty much anything else on the planet, yes, almost all of them are going away, but those ones getting used should have staying power. That's my entire thesis, and I'm looking forward in the coming years and decades to see exactly how everything unfolds, but I think that's a pretty reasonable guess, right? Don't you think? That if something's actually getting used, then there's value to it, and if there's value to something, there should be an open market price. Don't you think? That should sustain itself in perpetuity. You know, kind of like gold. And because understand gold, even if most of it's not used in electronics, or jewelry, like it can be used for other things. On top of that, well, it's similar. It's similar to the case for cryptocurrency like XRP. It does stuff. It actually does stuff. And then it continues here, though. Ripple and XRP are like a campaign. They take your money, promising different S-word, how they will help banks, technology, new software, etc., and it's all BS because there's many companies out there doing the same S-word and creating the same S-word. And I have to switch to the next now, and there's a little bit over. I'm going to try and not reread part of what I just wrote. Let's see if I can pick them on the right spot here. Here we go. Actually, before I read further, let me comment on that even. Other companies doing the same thing. Well, this is interesting because conceptually, cryptocurrencies can be used. Any cryptocurrency that's decentralized, I mean, technically you can use it for any use case, but some cryptocurrencies, from a technological perspective, are better suited for particular use cases. And so it's not the case that you'll see every cryptocurrency being used for everything. Most certainly not. And also, there are different entities involved in specific cryptocurrency ecosystems that have different motivating factors, which will result in standards coming into play here, which we're seeing it evolve in real time here. We actually are seeing that here. And so it's not that they're all doing the same S-word here. I'm sorry, that's just not the case. Technically, you can use them interchangeably. It's just that some are better at fulfilling certain tasks, so that's not going to happen anyway. But no, you got to understand that there are different use cases out there. It's not just about cryptocurrencies being used in place of fiat currency. And then this continues. So XRP campaign promises mad S-word, asks for money, and it's in the same place it was a few years ago. It's rich people and actual workers that make money of it because they are getting money from people like you. Okay, well, if that's your stance on the cryptocurrency asset class, then I sure as hell hope that you have the same stance on the stock market. Look, people that are actively trading, the data shows that they're not going to do well. People that hold stocks, the data shows they're going to do well. Which is, and again, and this is not financial advice, but my belief is that is absolutely true within the cryptocurrency asset class as well. And so, if you just hold and you are purchasing a cryptocurrency that has real utility and as a result should have staying power, what do you think is going to happen by just holding? But it's not the case that only rich people can make money off of this. That's so silly, and it just shows a lack of understanding of how this asset class works, but not just this one. Think about other asset classes like the stock market. It's the most easy one to compare it to. That is not what is happening here. And then it continues. She said, XRP will never be more than $1 again. Oh my God, as soon as I read that, I was like, this will not age well. This absolutely will not age well. I'm telling you what. And again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just sharing my opinions. No financial background here, to be very clear. But I cannot imagine if real-world adoption continues, utility continues, I can't imagine that XRP would not again surpass at some point its all-time high, which was a little shy of $4. I can't imagine a world where that doesn't happen. I legitimately mean that. And this continues. So again, she said that XRP will never be more than $1 again, at least not for the next 10 years. So arbitrarily choosing a 10-year timeline, don't know where the hell that comes from. And then it continues, that's if Ripple and XRP still exist. Most likely in a few years, whatever they have will be chopped up and sold off. And I'm willing to bet, if you were to sit down with this individual, I'm willing to bet she knows nothing about developments around this asset class. And you know what also? This flies in the face of reality, because if you understand, if you're part of the XRP community, and you just look at how humans are actually behaving today, for the better part of a decade, people have been speculating. And there's a reason that XRP is towards the top in terms of market cap. It's because there are enough individuals parsing out the differences between these coins, which is resulting in higher investor confidence than the other 5,000 cryptocurrencies out there. And if you understand that, you understand that there are humans out there that actually value the differences, resulting in this. That is actually happening. You can point to data proving that. I'm citing it right now. And so for you to say this is going to get chopped up and go away in 60 years, Where's the evidence of that? What would lead you to indicate that's even remotely a reasonable position to hold? Because that's not how humans are behaving today. And it's just what your opinion here. I'm sorry, it flies in the face of reality. Not happening. All right, and then it continues. Let's see. So that's if Ripple and XRP still exist, most likely for years. Whatever they have will be chopped up and sold. Okay, cryptocurrency is a joke because it's so unstable. And then it jumps to another one. One sec here. Here's an example. If I buy a house from you for $200,000 in cryptocurrency, because it's way up there, next week crypto, you got $200,000 is now worth $20,000. So you just sold your house for $20,000. Nowhere in the world does real money with real governments and banks go up and down like that. And I want to point this out right now. So this goes back to the type of people that have these types of opinions. They don't understand that there's more than one use case for cryptocurrency, which when I was new to the world of cryptocurrency and the XRP community, I didn't know that either. When I was brand new, I had no idea. I thought that they were all just trying to get used as money. I didn't know. I didn't have the knowledge. Not the case here. You're talking about XRP as a bridge currency, and there are other use cases as well here. So when they're citing here, this is like newbie stuff you'd expect to see, talking about using a cryptocurrency like XRP to buy a house. No one's doing that. And maybe people will on a larger scale in the future, because I think the use case could make sense in the future in some places on the planet, perhaps, especially as volatility goes away and there's increased liquidity and a number of other things, technological inhibiting factors, all that as that decreases. But right now, that's not necessary for there to be success in terms of price appreciation and real network effects increasing pertaining to the XRP ecosystem. So again, fundamentally talking about XRP being used in place of fiat currency is not what we're talking about here. But again, this individual doesn't know that. And then it continues, nowhere in the world does real money with real governments and banks go up and down like that. Her suggestion was... Are you aware of the .com boom and bust? Oh my God, it's massive. Like, asset classes do absolutely go through cycles like this, but what's interesting is in the mature asset classes, these cycles can take decades to play out. So stating that this doesn't happen anywhere else, it's just not true. You see it in stocks, you can see it in real estate, you can see it in gold, you see it in crypto. It's just in an exaggerated fashion because there's all this hype and the frenzy around the technology. That's it. Okay, but to cite that it doesn't happen anywhere else, I'm sorry, just not the case here. And so anyway, her suggestion was, since you are poor, LOL, go and start doing penny and dollar stocks. They have a real chance of making you money. If you invest $1,000 and all over the place each year, if you're doing good, you'll turn your $1,000 into $3,000 to $4,000. Sometimes you get lucky, and that small company gets big. You could make good money. Yeah, that sounds like a terrible investment advice. That's my opinion. No, absolutely not. If it was something where you were thoroughly researched on a penny stock, okay, maybe. But if you're talking about just all willy-nilly going out there and investing, no. But see, this is taking out of consideration the fact that we are well-researched as it pertains to this stuff here, right? The vast majority of us in the XRP community, don't you think we kind of know what we're talking about? Especially people listening to a channel like this. You're more engaged and more interested. You're like me. I'm making an assumption, but that's probably true here. We're more educated on this stuff, and we're more interested in it. And that's the reason that we have the confidence in the first place. My gosh. And then it states here, so basically she said all her clients stay away from crypto, but long story short, the chance of XRP hitting $1 again is most likely impossible and won't happen for many years, if ever. Again, it's not going to age well. It's just not going to age well, and none of this is remotely financial advice, but it's not going to age well. And I'll tell you what, and I'll share this with you. I'm going to be brief on this because I don't want this video to go too long, and I've got another thing I want to cover, which I cited with the Bank of America CEO, that fake story. I love it. But when I started learning about this, and this is just something, and I have mentioned part of this before, where when I started learning about XRP and crypto, for some reason, especially as the part about XRP, I mean, it really is just that, because I realized there's utility that had something to do with not replacing fiat currency. It grabbed me. I was like, oh my God, I see this. I see the potential for this. I see the direction and how almost no humans are invested. It absolutely grabbed me. I researched it every day, and I've been doing that for over 2 years. And I don't know why, but in life, sometimes you're going to, and for me, it's only happened a handful of times in my life where something has really, truly grabbed me like that. And so I've just learned, I'm a 36-year-old man, I've just learned when something like that happens, just run with it. And so I waited for over a year being in the space before I launched my YouTube channel. I thought about it after being in the space after a little over a month. And I technically formed the channel in the end of 2017, didn't put out my first video until almost a year later, towards the end of 2018. But I maintained that interest, and I was like, oh my God, it just got to the point where I was like, I have to do this. I was like, I'm too engaged with this. I have too much fun with this. I research it every day. I want to share what I know with people and learn from them too, because I don't pretend to know everything. But as a result of this, like, I felt like that from the very beginning. And I remember, and I don't really use Facebook. I don't. I have it. I've had it for, how long have I had? Like, oh my God, 15 years at this point, something like that. I must have been 20 or 21 when I first jumped on board. I used to use it a lot way back in the day. But anyway, I was excited about it, and I remember in the end of 2017 when I was learning about this, I was just kind of mentioning. I was putting out some tweets here and there, and I was pretty clear. I was like, look, I don't know what's happening with this, and I effectively said, don't buy or sell unless you do your own research. That's effectively what I was conveying. But I was like, look at this XRP. Look at what Ripple's doing, this and that. And some people, as a result of that, even though I wasn't telling them to do that, some people that I actually know in real life, some of them did buy XRP, and it was as it was running up. And so that was never my intent. And because I don't want to be the guy that's responsible for you making a financial decision. And I was very clear, so it's not like I have some sort of shame or remorse over this, because I was super clear. And I'm always super clear about this, even to this day. I was like, you should not buy or sell because of me. This is just a topic that's interesting to me. And so I did convey that. But some people still bought XRP. It was on the way up, and I was still learning about market cycles at this point, all that good stuff here. And so I didn't know that it was highly likely that the price is going to go down, and I expect it's going to ramp up again, and I suspect there's going to be another massive crash, maybe 80 or 90% after it ramps way up, and you'll have a new higher support level than where we're at today, I suspect. This is just speculation. But anyway, so on the way up, I was talking about this, and it ends up being the case that XRP went from about 20 cents to almost $4, and you know what happened. You know the story here. And I remember at some point, maybe half a year or so ago, and I might even mention it when it happened. Maybe it was even a little further. No, I want to say it was like August or September. I had to get together with a group of, a dozen or so friends, and we were out and about. And one of them brought this up. Weren't you the one that was the one that was talking about that Ripple? He's like, how's that going for you? And I was like, there's so much I could have said to that. But I was thinking, well, for me, it's going pretty well. For me, it's going pretty well because the vast majority of where I purchased, it was around, around the 20 cent mark anyway. So I was always technically fine price-wise, but I always got the bigger picture. So to me, it doesn't matter if it dips below that anyway. I don't care. As long as there's real-world adoption taking place, I'm not going to emotionally buy and sell. And so this was an individual that doesn't understand market cycles and emotional buying and selling. It was very clear to me. And he was this guy actually in particular is more of an acquaintance. I didn't know him that well, but he still felt like it was appropriate to go ahead and kind of rib me like that. And I wasn't like terribly offended, but I was just like, okay, I'm not going to get into this now. Everybody's out having a good time drinking right now, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And so I think we've all experienced stuff like that. And there are other instances where I have talked about this more in depth with some very close friends. And to this point, I haven't really engaged anybody else that like thoroughly is visionary enough to understand the implications of all of this. But some people get it, obviously, and I can see there's a big enough community out here. People get it. It's not going anywhere. But I'm sure you've encountered stuff like this as well. So I just thought I'd kind of briefly at least share that story. It'd be fun to talk more about this in depth in another video, but to make sure this doesn't go any longer than it is, because this is already a longer video than I intended, let me go ahead and jump into this last piece before I wrap stuff up here. And again, this is from XRP, the Standard Productions. Bank of America CEO pissed that Ripple hasn't announced partnership yet. Dropping a fist firmly on his desk and gritting his teeth during an interview with XRP Productions Wednesday, Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan complained profusely about the as-of-yet unannounced partnership between the mega bank and blockchain payments company Ripple. "Geez, come on already," said Moynihan, pulling on his hair and kicking a nearby wastebasket. "What the hell's taking so long?" The executive's frustrations are shared by many in the online community of XRP holders. The digital asset that Ripple is positioning as the standard and instant worldwide liquidity for the settlement of cross-border payments. Rumors have abounded for weeks concerning the potential release of a significant partnership between the two entities, inflamed by the already well-known leak of a settlement system patent which utilizes Ripple technology. And here's a little screen grab of Moynihan with the caption, "Teary-eyed Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan telling XRP Productions reporters that he's this close to telling Brad Garlinghouse that he's not my friend anymore." Love that. If Ripple doesn't announce their partnership soon. Informed by his staff that there was still a non-disclosure agreement in place with Ripple about the deal, Moynihan turned red and began biting his tie. "Who the hell signed that?" he said. "What the flying flip is with you people? I want to start using my Ripple.XRP, damn it." I gotta love that stuff. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. So that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!